Hello everyone and welcome back to the Scottish Disney Cars Collector YouTube channel. And today I am joined by my partner Lynn, or at we cosplayer. For my Instagram viewers, you might have seen some of stuff on our page. I'm not sure. I will put this video up and tag her and everything else. Um, she is an ex-business student, sort of. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You'd have a Scottish equivalent of a HNC. I don't know what that would be for English viewers because I get a bit mixed up with the
Well,
education system.
most of my viewers will probably be American, so.
And the American equivalent I wouldn't know either. But for Scottish students, it's a HNC and business. But a part of that was also admin related, and I studied computing and admin itself.
So, my partner Lynn, who's never appeared on the channel before, we have done some videos on my Doctor Who channel, which is pretty much dead now. This is where my focus is for YouTube content nowadays. But we've done videos in the past together, and we had a really good momentum in those. And because of how much I've shown and dedicated to Lynn via this franchise, um, as you can see, she's wearing something that's not cars related at all.
Oh, that is branded.
I'm
not cheating.
I got the. You won't have seen it yet because obviously, as you know, my hunt vlogs come out in separate time and footage and all that. It's always out of order. But I just got the George Lightning McQueen adult pajamas the other day in Asda. They've got the hoodie type thing and slippers. So it was appropriate to wear these for them. Because we rarely get cars merchandise in adult size. Obviously, I really would love some of the race and rescue stuff in this size because I think it was really nicely designed.
Yeah, unfortunately they just don't have them in adult sizes. I'm tiny, and she fit in the older kid stuff, and they don't even have them in my size. So under
5,
age 8.
age 8.
So they go beyond age 8.
That's another thing we want to talk about on here soon as well. Is I'm kind of like letting stuff on ahead, but I want to talk about race and rescue. We're gonna wait until the line is done because we're very on similar opinions of it. Where probably the only difference is I don't think it should take up a whole year's main line in terms of what's like new characters, but what people I think are failing to realise is the success and popularity of it. If they went ahead to fucking go make pajamas and notepads and books and whatever of them, you didn't get that for GRC last year. This has shown the difference in popularity, and I think people need to realise that because it's been doing very well. So we won't talk about all that at one point. But do you want to just quickly, because the reason why I've also brought Lynn on here is, yes, she is an ex-business student, of course. So she knows way more about these types of things than me, and just told them I've learned a lot from her in terms of a business point of view. But she also does her own stuff, and this is kind of my way of getting her out there. And I think it'll be much better because I didn't have an Instagram page for the Doctor Who channel, so I think Lynn here should become a lot more well known doing things via here. So it's going to be a start of a whole new series. I want to like blindfold each other at one point and guess what cars we have. I
think you're underestimating my knowledge. Because usually it's the pink one with blah blah on it, or it's the one from I think I think maybe therefore.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at here is we'll be blindfolded. Now, I'm more likely to get them, obviously, because, I collect these. Lynn collects them as well. She's been a collector for just over a year now, but she's not as avid as me. She prioritises other things, maybe.
For me, it more tapped into the big Disney and Pixar fan that I have been over the years. So I'm more into the brand as a whole than just cars in general.
Yeah. She's more, I am as well, but I'm more of a Cars fan than other properties. Lynn's more of a wider spectrum Disney fan. I'm more of like focus on one thing. So in that video, which we'll do one day, I'm probably more likely to guess what's in my hand than she is. So I'll try and keep it a bit more unique for her, so she knows what certain models are. But that's another thing we want to do at one point as well. So it's going to hopefully be the start of a new series. We want to talk about KC at one point, or I think we'll just wait until we get maybe the package shot reveals or something, because we still don't have them, but they're on Smith's website, which is really strange. That's a whole other thing we can come back to. But um, um, sorry, I'm rambling, because I want to tell people who this person is. But do you want to tell them what you do and why you're wearing this jacket?
For me, most people would either know me as Lynn, if you know me personally, but most people would online would more closely me as we cosplayer. I've been doing that since 2020, so that'll be lockdown.
Yeah.
But I have been cosplaying since 2016 on and off. But 2019 when I really get into it, more involved.
Well, it's nearly 10 years. Wow.
That kind of explored me getting into doing what I do now. Yes, you have to 10 years, but I tend to take it from 2019 onwards, only because that's when I really homed in on it and went to work on.
Yeah.
So the type of stuff I normally do is I will vlog as much as I can. They may not be great vlogs, but I vlog as much as I can at conventions. But that's due to what I can get and how busy things are. Conventions can be very hectic and busy, especially with the schedules that they put out and the amount you want to do. And on top of that, I tend to take videos on or photos at the masquerade.
Yes.
Now, I tend to mostly do the casual ones only because I'm usually doing one of them one of the days if I am doing it. So if it's a weekend con, I'm more likely to be taking part myself on the Saturday, and I'll take the pictures on the Sunday. If it's a one day event, I'm more likely just to take the pictures, depending on how I feel on the day. But on top of that, I'm in the middle of updating my coffee page with my store, and where I'll be selling handmade stuff, keychains, bookmarks, pin badges.
She's actually made some cars, keychains, which I fucking should have dug out actually to show you off, like the one she gave me. But she's made some of them if you are interested when they go up eventually.
And
I'm just gonna make more.
And I do have a few branded items on there as well. But at the end of the day, the coffee page is just there to help fund the little hobby that I call cosplay as much as I can.
Yeah.
On top of that, I've recently started putting stuff up on Vinted. So still look for wee cosplay on there as well.
Yeah.
And
I'll probably link that as well.
See anything that you're interested in, by all means go and buy. Because at the end of the day, the money is mostly going towards equipment at the moment to update either my phone, which is about 6 years out of date. For an iPhone, that's bad. Possibly new camera equipment, new vlogging equipment, new iPads, accessories and stuff. So everything will help better what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So there'll be a mix of bits and bobs stuff that I picked up because I know other people might be looking for it, might find it a bit difficult to find.
Yeah.
Or it'll be stuff that I've got lying around that I'm no longer needing, that I would rather see have a happy home than get into landfill. Because I volunteer myself from working with Prince Princess of Wales Hospital and from working with Chaz as a cosplayer. I kind of try to be sustainable with my brand and stuff as much as possible. So rather than it going to waste and just get thrown out, if somebody can make use of it, I would rather see somebody make use out of it, even if it's only for a short period of time.
Yeah.
By all means, it's there if you want it.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what she's doing. I'll actually throw in the Vinted a link to that as well, in case if there's anything that my UK viewers are interested in buying.
Yeah, because unfortunately Vinted is regional, country to country.
Because we do, like me as well. I mean, I've not really put my Vinted page up, but I've just sold off the majority of stuff in a big bundle. I'll probably talk about that again at one point, but before time gets on. Anyway, the subject of today's video. Now, this was originally going to be the KSA video, but we have found it really difficult to find time between ourselves to have the time to sit down and do something like this. So I'm going to prioritize this first, because where this all started from was Docket, Disney Docket, Mr. Docket, whatever you call him. People will obviously know him who watch my channel. A while back, he bought this. Now, it is not, well, we'll come on to that in a minute because it's interesting, but he bought a Vladimir Trunkov Thailand variant to open. Now, people will know, obviously, tubs paste around Vladimir. I've got real tubs down there sitting somewhere. They're very sought after from 2023. They only came out in the one case and then that was it. So, because he's a carded collector, he wanted one to open because he's only got his 2023 one sealed. Obviously, in that case as well, we had probably the two most popular and sought after releases being the Western Alpus and the Quadritorquosaur, which I think people have said these have probably been, the best releases that Mattel has definitely put out in the last couple of years, especially this, which is probably my favourite release I think we've had in a good 5 years, I'd say. I know people really love these releases, and quite rightly so, and they became very sought after due to their popularity. So in that same case, you had Tubbs and Vladimir. So he bought the Vladimir, and he was showing it off in one of his Giga hauls, and like at first when I seen it head on, like this, I knew it was something like I knew it was genuine. I knew it was genuine. I thought it was genuine. I was like, oh, okay, he's bought the one to open, and then he turned it around, and it was the eyes that gave it away for me. I don't know what it was. I could just notice it straight away, and I think it was a slightly thick eyeliner. Docket didn't notice this at first. He later interjected in the video and basically stated, "This is a fake." Now, it is honestly amazing and astonishes me that we have something like this as good out there that people can buy. What I don't get is, though, these are actually coming out in stores and people are buying them. I don't know for USA folk, but so far in the UK, we have a discount store or a bargain store called B&M. These have not appeared in like supermarkets or Smiths, and I don't think they will appear in those types of stores. B&M's a shop that gets like overstock, and they can easily get stuff from 3 years ago. Like I literally just found those dinosaur cars last week, and they've been out for 2 years. So with this, he basically ought to aim to do a video about them. He's not put that video up yet. So we're going to go ahead and do our own take on it. I'll probably send this video to Docket actually, because I don't know I think he does have them all. Just before we do go into the store, I am missing one, annoyingly, which is this guy, which is Mario Andretti, but he's the least different out of all of them. I thought we could go ahead and do the video for him anyway. We've got 4 out of 5 here. Because I got duped with this one, because I thought this was the fake. No, it's the real one, and I don't want that. So, but the thing...
I don't want you ever see that.
For the only time I ever see that, yeah. But the thing that we noticed, and I've got some cards down here for them, but the packaging, obviously, sorry, I don't have my sealed... No, I do have a sealed Vladimir, but the real one, but it's somewhere kicking about. But you can get the idea of us. The big thing that struck us was they do look pretty spot on, but it's the strange feel to them. I mean, because what was it you noticed on the back? you noticed something was missing or changed about? Was it the recycling stuff?
It's here on this one.
Yeah.
It's up there in that one. Yeah, and that was the main thing really for me because I was and a couple of local things.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's present on the original one for that.
So if I show you the back, you can see the bottoms have been slightly rearranged. Like the barcode's still in the same place, but the recycle like logo and question mark and all that, that's all been slightly shifted around. Surprisingly, what it's going to be, if you really want to tell now, fakes normally tend to have a much more shinier, glossier packaging, and this certainly has that. This has a more matte finish. This is not going to help with next year if fakes do come about, because you probably won't remember, but we know for the real ones next year they're having a glossy back rather than a more matte back. So if fakes continue, that's not going to really help to differentiate anything in that sense, because that's probably the biggest main difference. The rendering does look really good, although you can tell it's a lot more, it's sort of darked out and much more not washed out. Like the quality renders really good, but it's not, it's a bit like faded. The biggest difference that yours are going to want to see to actually know what is what, and we only just noticed this last night. If you look here, there's this recycle logo as a square on the bottom. It is not present on the genuine one. So
the PT Cinema logo, the one that tells you if you get bulb and all that type of stuff in it.
So if you want to know what you are buying, you look out for that. So when I go and look for another my own Andretti to get a fake, I'll be asking people to take a picture of the underneath here, because that's all I'll be able to tell. Because it is very hard, like when people will do pictures like that or front on, because that's how good these actually look in the package.
Usually it's the eye plate.
That's
the eye plate and the mouth is the giveaway.
Also, another thing people aren't going to know unless they get them. Plastic on these, much more rigid. Obviously, as you know, these break very easily. You have probably found plenty of stores because they've obviously fell. This, not really shown up well. I've binned all the other plastic for these, but card is a lot more softer and not as rigid. And just because I can, because I just opened them yesterday, there's the ones for Sherrif and Cruz and Lightning McQueen. Now again, if you didn't know any better, you would think that those are the actual real cards that I'm showing you, but they're not. And again, they've got that strange, like, glossy texture. I think it's just a standard practice on fakes to do things glossy, because it's like all shiny and people will fall for that kind of thing and think it's genuine. It actually gives it a much more nastier sort of plastic feel. Also, the glue on these as well, and this is something else we've noticed, the glue sealage has been absolute crap. Like, the way these have just fell off almost instantly when you open them, where it's with this, I know if I open it right now, it's going to be a much more of a tighter seal. But the glue on them is awful.
Yeah. But I think the biggest giveaway is the fact that if you look at where the card is, this bit here is very light. Whereas if you look at that, it's much, much darker.
Yeah, you can see.
That what I really found is the big made a difference, and the fact that I think it really if you also look where the hook sits up here, it tends to either be too far up to the plastic, but there's there to strengthen it, or it's cut off.
Is it?
Yeah, because if you look at that one, there's not much of a gap.
Right, careful.
Yeah, it's right up at the very top, where there's a bit of a gap.
Oh, you're on about that bloody light again.
Yeah, it's a light.
It's slight, but...
Yeah, but it's a giveaway that they're not really being precise on where they're placing the actual pictures.
Yeah.
They're just slapping them on.
So, as I've said, we've got 4 out of 5 here, so we'll go through them and compare them. I know that the daylight's probably not the best, but I mean, you will see how terrible these are straight up anyway. You know, I don't think we really need good daylight to show.
As long as you get that. a good enough light to be able to see with your own eyes, you'll be fine.
So we're doing this in the order of probably the least interesting to most interesting. So there's two McQueens currently out there, and the first one is Cruising Lightning McQueen. Another thing these all have in common before I forget, these are all 2023 Case K releases. I realised with Vladimir and then Sherrif, who I don't think had came out since then and came back this year, Sherrif that is. I didn't notice that right away. And I was trying to remember, was Cruising McQueen in that case? He was. I think then he didn't come back for the rest of the year. So sorry about that, everyone. I needed to go and pee. Also, it is the UK we live in. It's getting back to that time of year where it's getting darker in the evening. So I've now shoved on the big light. So apologies about that. But it's gonna help me see stuff better anyway because I don't know. I've looked at these when I've opened them and that, but I've not really done like a direct comparison. So the only one I've done that one is Vladimir actually. So, but you're about to get, I guess, both our first reactions, really seen the differences between the two. So, as I said, from least interesting to most interesting, in my opinion, anyway. So, the first one is Cruising Lightning McQueen. So, well, the thing that's probably struck us the most, well, the thing that strikes me the most, I don't know about you, but it's how gaps that is in the back. Because if you look at it, right, see that big clear bit of plastic, and then look at this. It's much more flush in there. This is the real one. What was it you noticed? There was something that really put you off. I can't remember what it was. There was something that struck.
I think it was the.
Oh yeah, the roof. Yeah, the roof flaps.
Yeah, they are on models like McQueen eyes. Because I know there's other cars that are very similar style of model in many ways.
Cruise is probably a good example of that. Actually.
Where when they have the wee
roof flaps.
Flips things at the back. Yeah, some of them are prominent, but this they feel too prominent.
Yeah, so what she's basically getting at is this is more flush, like on the actual model, which is correct. However, on the fakes, and they've noticed that with World Grand Prix McQueen, they're more stuck out. The sculpting on the World Grand Prix McQueen, which we'll get to, is really soft as well. It's not as profound. Though, just getting our first like impressions of like comparing the two. Well,
because if you look, the biggest standout is the colour.
Yeah, I know. For me, I prefer the colour on the fake. I'm gonna give it that. Because that looks much more film accurate to me. That's way too bright.
I prefer that colour too.
Do you?
Yeah. But the other thing I don't know if you can see, but if you look at the windows on the sides,
yeah,
you can see an outline.
An outline? Like, do you mean as in this part here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably it's been better if it was filmed the other way around, but it doesn't matter. Do you know what?
It's like a sort of border.
Yeah.
It's the best way of describing it. Whereby,
is that not on the real one?
If you look at the real one, there is a slight border, but it's more like a sort of shading. But you don't really see anything. But you can see it on the other one, which is not great. But the other big thing with the back window is definitely solid as hell. Whereas that is pretty.
You can listen. You hear how creaky that is.
Which means if you look at the bottom of it,
yeah,
you've got that the bottom plate pushing it in and out, which doesn't do either.
It's just sunk in my hand. See that? Listen to that. Listen to that. So you push this up, right? See how sunk that's became, and also the wheels, they're very fucking loose. Also, I don't know what the hell this is, but right, clean wheels, right, on this side. You got a clean wheel here. Why is the fucking back one here so dirty?
And also the colour, not pure white, it's sort of grey white.
Yeah, it's an off white.
I wouldn't even call it off white, it's more of a very light grey colour.
Yeah, right.
It's horrible.
You know what? Actually, just give me the real one. See, look. You can fucking see it. There.
Yeah.
See how? Look at that. You see how off white that is? Jesus Christ. Yeah, but I don't know why his back wheel here is so dirty. I know in Paint Master McQueen, one of his wheels is not covered in tape by Ramon. I don't know if it's a film accuracy or just a pure Mattel error because we don't really get a lot of good angles of Paint Master McQueen. I don't know if it's meant to play into that. I doubt it. I would need to dig out that and see where the wheel was on it, but that's a whole other thing. The dirty wheel. Obviously another thing. This has the punch holes from meter to tone. That's not on the on the fake. Which is strange.
Yeah, and the other thing is the eye plate is. Yes, I know in some of the actual one, you might have the small error where the plate is not completely clipped in when it should be. It might have clipped in slightly, but it's never been like, oh, that's terrible, that's really moved. Whereas, if you look, that's a big fucking gap in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah! Oh my god!
But I think we noticed in a few of them actually, when we get to some of the others.
I can get my fingernail on that. This I can't. I'm not showing that, sorry. I can't get my fingernail on that. This, oh my fucking hell.
And then the mouth and them are great.
To be honest, the mouse are pretty much the exact same from what I can see. But yeah.
I don't know if it's because of the colour. And I think the fake ones get a little bit of pink.
Pink, it does have a bit of pink.
Pink on it, like it's got a bit of lipstick.
But yeah.
Duct tape teeth.
Yeah.
But the only thing I can really see the positive is the decals. The rest of it I hate.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate it.
That's what I was about to go into. Yeah, one thing that, another difference actually, is now we know Thailand is typical for dulling silver decals down to grey. As the gas cap I think looks a lot better on the fake. It's a really good bright silver. This is really flat and ugly, to be honest. And I just lost it. Sorry. His hood bolts, they're kind of a flat off grey on the real one. Really nice bright silver on this. So give it something else. Can you? Wait a minute. They're much more profound as well. These are kind of like dulled out. And obviously it's got the punch holes. And the hold on. I'm just trying to work this out. Now, as we both agree on, the duller reds, well, no, actually, she prefers that, but for me anyway, I think the duller red is more better, to be honest. It's actually quite close to the China version as well. It's not quite there, but I think it's a lot more consistent, because I mean, if you look at the really bright metallic and then the dark red eye plate, which I think Thailand are really horrible for matching up, on this, it's not 100%, but it definitely closer matches it. Another thing, when they do metallic cars, it has all this ugly silver.
That's what I was about to say.
Has all this ugly. Mm-hmm. You didn't notice that at first, okay?
No, I didn't notice it until now.
It has this ugly base silver. It's always showing this, which I'll give it.
Look at it.
Yeah, this they have painted everything.
Don't know how that happened.
I know, because the interesting thing is, both their bases
are identical.
Yeah, they have
colour difference.
Yeah,
and a stamp.
So the real one's got the week stamp, so S21A, so that'll be the 21st week of 2023. But they both have the exact same, like 1186, MJ1NL, CJL85. Everything's there, made in Thailand, Disney, Pixar, Mattel. The only difference is, it's more raised on the real one. It's much more flat on the fake. What I don't understand here is the thing that we both agree is better. These are both made by the same country, right? I don't know what different manufacturer process this is, but the decals are so much more crisper. I know this angle's not really the best to shot off, but I mean I'm gonna hand this around in a minute. They're much more crisper, especially on the Kingsman, Barstow, and San Bernardino bumper stickers that Lizzie puts on them. That you cannot see that, but we've seen pictures of these by now. Anyway, it's more of our first impressions, reactions. They're much more clearer, definitely much more clearer. Apart from that, I mean, I'll just show you too. I mean, you can see how obviously just blurred out that is. Though I will say the fakes ones are not as detailed, but you can read what it says at least.
Yeah, because that kind of a
See
colour.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, but on that one, the black decal red, with the black and white on the other one.
No, yeah. It's red.
And it? I can't even see the red.
But it's not got the black boldness behind it. So you know how when you write text and you put a bit of shadow in, like the bold behind it, it doesn't have it. Backlights are pretty clear. Like, yeah, that's pretty much, that's all we can really say for it, I think. But it's kind of how it's that I've got the biggest problem with. It feels like it could just come off at any given moment. The best find for me, I'd say, is the clear decals and the colours, but overall, we'll come back to what fans have been saying about them and that. Yeah. Oh, I've just noticed something else. On the real one, he's got a touch of grey in the inner rim. These are just pure red.
Yeah.
See a bit of grey.
Yeah.
Apart from that, that's it. But I think that but God, that the fact it's the incision of the plastic, because that's why it's sitting sunken, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I think a difference in colour really makes a big difference. But yeah, in terms of quality control, yeah, this is better. We'll come on to what people have been saying about these. Oh, just another quick comparison, I forgot. But the closest colour I could find that matches, well, the fake, is the shovel one from the Christmas collection. It's not quite as dark. This is actually a bit more brighter, but that's the closest I could find to it. Probably the least different one out of them, maybe. So we have Vladimir Trunkov, really random character to have a fake of, but obviously it's the one that Docket got duped for. Now we've already compared this one ourselves, but the biggest difference that you'll probably see from head on, because they are very similar, is the eye plate.
Yeah, sunken again.
Yeah, well, sunken, but he's got a slightly bit more thicker eyeliner. The real one's a bit more natural looking. Sorry. The blues are a bit different. The real one's a tiny bit more glossier.
Yeah, and the car badge is slightly different colour as well.
What, on the front?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the got like a nose.
So the front's more red. On the fake, it's much more of a dark red. Anything else?
Yeah, if you actually look at the red pin, the yellow cream pinstripe, where they'll get the 3-line part,
The grill, yeah, they're much more.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
But on the actual one, it's a lot more smoother.
No, it is. Yeah.
A lot more prominent. But yeah, I think mostly it is just the decals are sharper and different colour, because on the fake it's pure black, whereas on that one it's a bit more of a grey colour.
No, the license plate.
Yeah. But
On the front, headlights are bright silver, which again I think is better than the official one. I'll give it
yeah,
that.
I don't know if it's just yours, but yours is a little one scratchy side.
Scratchy side, I've just noticed that. Yeah.
But yeah, and then the wee headlights underneath, one's a darker yellow,
No.
one's a bright yellow,
No.
but beyond that, they've got this one pretty close.
Of course they have. No wonder Docket fell for it.
Yeah.
Well, a lot.
But the biggest giveaway is the colour and the fact that the windows are sunken.
Sunken.
Even on the time windows.
So yeah, the license plates. Yeah, the decals are like on the license plate. Decals are a bit more sharper. One thing that is so minor that people will not notice this, but on the side of Trunkov's, there's this little. I think it's their indicator light to switch. Or their turn light. You know, when so you're on the road, you know they're gonna turn.
Yeah, it's an indicator.
Indicator. Yeah, that's completely gone on the fake. But such a minor detail, you know, like the average person never gonna notice that. The plastic is much more softer on the real one for his side view mirror. This is a lot more rigid, and yeah, as Lynn pointed out, it's the grille is much more defined, which I think is better. The paint's kind of softened this out on the real one. Apart from that, bases are the exact same. Again, it's just missing the date. Add date stamp. But there's this horrible gap because of how sunk it is. Like in
yeah, I think that's the biggest giveaway in all of them.
All of them, it's the
but they're not
incision.
All sunken in just certain places.
Look, if you look, you can just see the skin of my face in between his eyes. Just between the bar and the eye plate. So yeah, that's how sunken that is.
Yeah. But also, you just need to run your hand over the eye, and you can actually feel the detail. Whereas you couldn't feel a detail there at all.
Yeah, they've kind of like raised up his windshield eyes and like actual eyes up, which is interesting. I mean, they have been raised previously, but nowhere near to that degree.
And that's a thing that comes from the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, his on the front view mirrors, that lights, it's sort of more scratched out and grey. This is more silver. Sorry everyone, this is a long video, but you know, I would have just sped through them. But when you get someone who's got a business view on things,
with a lot, I will say what I need to say.
Yeah,
when we're done.
Just very quickly, you will have already seen it, but we have an error of a fake. Yes, and I wouldn't have really cared if this was the fake or real one or not. It's an error. An error's cool to me. But this came up on Vinted when I bought Cruising McQueen and Sherrif, and yeah, obviously the big giveaway is he's missing his cream yellow stripe on the side, and this is the fake. So an error of a fake is pretty cool, but I think that's shown how piss poor the quality control might be out there for some of these. So I have no idea if it's missing on the other side. I'll never know. It's so tight up against that card. I'll never know. But very cool. That'll be staying sealed. Just an error of a fake. You know, it's pretty fucking outrageous. That's already a thing out there with them. But the next one, which I thought was the least different, but we noticed a few things, is Sherrif. Now, mums out there who are trying to get main characters for their kids are going to sweep this fucker up, because believe it or not, nowadays Sherrif doesn't get released that often. He was only, I think in the last 4 years he's been done in 2022, 2023, and then he's coming back next year. Even in case you, but that was once this year. So basically, and he skipped last year. Basically, point out being Sherrif is not. He's only got one case occasionally. He's not released as all often.
Even though he's a main character.
Even though he's a main character, he's not released all that often. Like Lizzie and Flo as well. They're all coming back next year. They don't get released a lot. So, because I sold a Sherrif on Vinted for like a tenner, because that's how rare he is on the market at the moment. Not the fake. It was a genuine. So I know this will probably be popular, because you know it's a main character.
And then my whole opinion would be skip it and go and try and just wait out, because there's so much wrong with it that it just looks ugly.
Okay. So the the biggest giveaway, which really made me laugh.
Yeah, because you didn't even notice it.
I didn't
And it
notice.
was so flaming obvious.
So, well, first of all, actually, all the lovely chrome is gone, which, yeah, it's a shame, but on a fake, I'm not really surprised. So, all that lovely chrome. He has a sculpted mouth, bit of red in between his mustache, grill, and his bumper on the fake. Now, if they're using the same casting, I don't know if I don't know how this has happened, because you would think if they're just using the same casting, it'd be the same sculpt over and over. For some reason, whoever designed or what's been put together here, because this is the thing, we know very little information. His grill is closed down on his mouth, so what they've done is they've painted that you can't really see, but they've painted a bit of red on top of his grill to look like his mouth. Whereas that you can see there's actual, there's an indent there. So yeah, it's fucking awful. The eyes, well, they're okay, but I mean, you can't just you can tell how soulless these look. This has a bit of definition. At first I thought this one was alright, but then again, Lim was going through it. I mean, again, what I'll give it is the decals, which is not a lot on them, to be honest. They're much more sharper, so I'll give them that.
Yeah, different colour wheels again.
Different coloured wheels. So again, much more greyed out on the fake, pure white on the real one. The Sherrif text on the back's probably the biggest difference. It's moved up, and it's a lot more bolder.
Yeah, and the badge on the back is a slightly different shape.
Yeah. License plate, to be honest, are as bad as each other. And again, the sunken plastic insert. Again, I can get my fingernail in the real one.
Yeah, because on the real one, it's got a bar. It did look like there's a gap, but there is a bar.
It's a black bar.
Stopping it. Whereas
yeah.
on the fake, that bar's not there. Yeah. So it's just a gap.
Yeah. So there's a big gap in there. And the tail lights are really poorly painted as well. They've just sort of done like red stripes down these two backs, whereas this they've kind of faded it in and made it look much more
it's the same with the
natural
light on the top.
See, because if you look at, they've just kind of done stripes.
Yeah.
Here they've.
But the same with the light on the top. It's badly painted.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice. Oh my.
Yeah,
oh my god.
See
yeah.
on the back. Look, turn it, flip it around. See on the back here.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I guess that looks like the sirens like wailing around if you really want to take it as that, but we know it's just pure paint at the end of the day. Yeah, whereas they've painted it all on the real one. Apart from that though, I mean,
it's one of the better ones.
He is one of the better ones.
Even though the mouth's
the worst thing about it. He is actually one of the better ones. Again, base, exact same. There's no date stamp on the real one. No, this is the real one. Oh, there is. It was just hanging away. Yeah. No, okay. Again, base is the same, just differences. There's no date stamp. Can you notice anything else?
Just on the real one, the badge is a bit of a wider thicker T. The other one's more of a thinner T. But
oh, I noticed that. Yeah.
But yeah, headlight slightly different colour. Not much off though.
They're pretty flat on the real.
Yeah, but
on the fake.
Yeah.
If you were looking for raised detail.
The decals look better, but not 100% clear, but they're better.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think that.
Pretty much it. Well, he is one of the better ones. I mean, we don't have Mario Andretti to, feel a 5 out of 5 opinion here, but for me, if I didn't care about Mario being missing from this video, because him and Sherrif are probably the more better ones. Now, to me, the most interesting one, and easily the most horrible, but I think it's fascinating. So, it's not one McQueen, we have to. This is in a realm of its own. Just again, for World Grand Prix McQueen, base holes on the real one, no base holes on the fake. That's it. Because I want to get a more direct comparison. Because obviously they released this guy before they thought that idea of me. So here's your real one. Yeah. So.
By colour difference.
Well, yeah, it's a huge colour difference here. So the fake is a way more darker red. This is the pure bitter red. I kind of like the weirdness of this, but it does look like one of those weird, like, you know, a fake when it looks fake, and just try to be something it's not. This is, I think, it's the pure definition.
Yeah.
Why it's my favourite.
Because the eyes are more prominent on that one than any other.
Yeah.
And you can obviously see it's bright red.
Yeah.
Whereas the rest of it's dark.
Also,
red.
Why has his ends been cut off is my question as well. Whereas obviously on that they go all the way over. Yeah, I just find that so funny. But the side, I mean, they're kind of they're pretty close. It's that dark red that really sets it off and helps it stand out.
Yeah, I think a colour combination can make a bit different.
Yeah.
If you know your colour wheel well enough, you'll know what colour to show up, set colours better.
Yeah. The decals are clearer again. They've tried to do that red trim on the wheels, but they're really poorly painted. They're kind of leaking out amongst on the lighter text. It's like the printer's missed them going along, whereas them they're obviously perfect. The backs
way too dark.
Way too dark, and it's been actually fuzzed off on the fake. So if you look at the see how the printer's like it's also missed it.
Yeah.
They're much more darker. The 95's misaligned as well on mine, at least anyway. The spoiler, don't know why it's warped. It's kind of in a squiggly line, whereas this obviously is aerodynamic. However, one thing I'm gonna give it praise for, that hood decal is a lot better.
Yeah.
Look at the gold. I think that's fantastic actually. You won't really see it, but there's gold on there. There's actual metallic paint. This is kind of flattened. So I think the hood decal's a lot better on the fake actually. Teeth, they're fine, but you can see it's fake on the fake. They're very fuzzy. It's like washed.
To be honest with you,
looks like it's got froth.
On the fake, it looks like you've got your teeth whitened.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't know if that's because it's a darker red. I don't know.
The printing on the back. Yeah, they like the McQueen text on his roof. Probably slightly more bolder in the fake, but there's not really a difference between the two. Both are just as bad as each other. I think the little World Grand Prix 95 looks better, but the real one's more aligned. This is because the Thailand one's just so fuzzy. Yeah, they're kind of in the same vein. Front lights. I know I'm not showing this everyone, but you know we're doing our first reactions. Blue bolts. Round grey.
Like a white text. Like a
yellow text. Oh.
On the Passing Cup logo.
Yeah, and the H is also missing on the fake.
Oh, I did.
It says Hudson Ornate. I mean, the H is kind of there, but it's been cut off. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's yellow text, white text. I don't know what's more accurate, people.
Keep looking.
That's something that changed. No, it's the same.
The one thing I will say, the gap on the face, on the eyes, are no more than what you would find on most real ones anyway. Just maybe not all the way up to the top. It's just a tiny slip.
Yeah.
But nothing as bad as the other ones.
I know.
And the windows look pretty much the same. The only difference is the detail on the tiny
flat?
back window. Like I noticed with one of the other ones.
Yeah, it's a much more flatter red, and again, it's sunken. So to round this off, because the camera space is going to run out in a moment, but there's actually not a lot to talk about with this, surprisingly. Right, I am sick of seeing across this last week, because people this year just seem to love bitching about Mattel, saying that fakes are better products than the official ones. No, they're fucking not. Clearer decals is one thing, but you shouldn't let that define something being better. Because apart from the decals, which I think has been the most consistent and clarifying on them, they look great. The sunken plastic that's in them, that a child could easily break and put themselves at risk, that can happen. They are fakes. Yeah, they're made of die cast, but they're not as good quality. And the paint on them, and also like the sharp areas on them as well. Like, how, like, people just seem to be saying that to throw another shit at Mattel and like just bash them because it's been constant. And we'll go over this in the Race and Rescue video, but they're not better.
No, they're not. The only good thing about them is the decal.
Yeah.
Everything else is terrible. Because right now we don't know what they're made of. We know they're metal and we know they're die cast, right? And we know they'll get a plastic component, but we don't know what's in the paint.
I know.
We don't know what glue or spray they're using for the decal, or what they're gluing the plastic bits on with, or whatever, anything like that. So, is that going to be toxic? We don't know.
Over time.
Because obviously, what they're putting on the back is that rip-off copy of what's on the original. Yes, if you look at other products like makeup and stuff, there's usually indicators and stuff not quite right to tell you. But 9 times out of 10, they rip off the exact same information. So I don't know how the hell that can pass. Because we can't